Hi guys, my name is MC Koboko. Let me tell you a story. The name Otto Nzeribe rings a bell in the East and the entire country at large. They called him Ogbuefi, the mighty elephant of Ogunta, a man whose charm could melt marble and whose ambition could move mountains. In a nation bleeding from war and divided by hunger, Otto Nzeribe find a way not just to survive, but to thrive. While others ran from the sound of a gunfire, he followed it. Because behind every explosion, he heard the sound of opportunity. Born in the year 1938 in Ogunta, in a serene riverside town in Imo, Zeribe grew up watching traders paddling their canoes across the shimmery waters, negotiating and scheming their way to survival. His father was a lawyer, his mother a teacher, but Ozeribe had the soul of a hustler. Smart, intelligent, and resilient. He wanted more than what his small town could offer. As a teenager, he won a scholarship to study in the United Kingdom. London in the 1950s was the perfect place for young Africans with big dreams and a silver tongue. He mingled with the elite, studied engineering, and built a relationship that later became the secret arteries of his power. The Republic of Biafra was born and the drums of war began to thunder. To many, it was a tragedy. To Otto Ezeribe, it was transaction. From his base in London, he tapped into a network of European arms dealers, using his connection to supply weapons. His business acumen and daring made him invaluable to both sides of the conflict. He was the man that could find what others could not and deliver what others feared to touch. Rumors spread that Nzeribe was supplying arms to both the federal government of Nigeria and Biafra, two sides locked in a deadly struggle. To his critics, he was a profiteer. To his admirer, he was a genius who understood that survival sometimes require playing the game from both ends. In the smoky boardrooms of London and the secret warehouses of Europe, deals were struck, fortunes made, and lives lost. By the time the war ended in 1970, Otto Ezeribe was no longer just a hustler, he was a tycoon. Post-war, Nigeria was rebuilding, and Ezeribe positioned himself right in the center of its rebuild. Through his company, Jafan and later Fanik Nigeria Limited, he ventured into oil, real estate, and investment. His fortune grew as fast as his reputation. Private jets, luxury cars, mansion in London, and Ogunta became the symbols of his empire. Nzeribe wasn't satisfied with his wealth. He wanted influence. He understood that in Nigeria, true power didn't just lie in wealth or in money, but in politics. By the 1980s, he had become the most influential businessman in the country. When he walked into a room, governors straightened up, and even ministers whispered. His money spoke louder than speeches, and his confidence level was legendary. By 1999, he became a senator representing Imo State, cementing his place not just as a businessman, but as a political force. Yet, no matter how many titles he acquires, the whispers of his past followed him like a ghost. Some called him a patriot who helped harm the region desperate for self-determination. Others called him a merchant of death who profited in the suffering of his people. Author Ezeribe never confirmed or denied the allegations. He would just smile and wave his cigarette and say in a deep voice, "History will judge all of us, not by what we did, but by what we survived." He lived life like a paradox, a man of words and mystery, and of power and controversy. When he passed in 2022, Ogunta mourned the loss of his most famous son, even as the nation debates his legacy. In the end, Otto Ezeribe teaches us one thing, that every war has its casualties, and also its beneficiaries. Sometimes those two wear the same face. Think about it. Please do well to share this video and follow us on all our social media platforms. See you guys again soon. Thank you.